Hello everybody, it's your wonderful Wind Mage, your Cruz Ship servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service now. Hello everybody, it is my birthday, July 24th, 2025, and I hope everybody's doing well. I should be doing on the just chatting on the screen when it comes to it, but I want to show off the overlay to begin with. And to be fair, the updates to the just chatting screens and all that are going to come in time. But for now, I just want to be able to celebrate 5 years of Chartreuse Proxy. I hope everybody is doing well now. I hope that everybody is really having themselves a good time overall. When it comes to it, I know that there has been a lot of things going on with my life at the moment or so. So, I just want to be able to celebrate it all throughout and be able to tell people that, hey, this is a celebration, first and foremost. I am going to do what I usually do all the time through, which is running through, not only yapping about how I am today, but about the 5 past years of Chartreuse Proxy. Because for a lot of you who may be newer viewers, you may not know exactly how I came to be. So I want to go over all of that in one nice succinct stream. Because this is how I like to hold myself accountable on everything that I do. And well, you're going to sit through it with me here. But first and foremost, let me just respond to some people. But I hope everybody's doing well today. First and foremost, you are seeing new Chartreuse Proxy. I've got new showcases when it comes to my model and everything like that. Got a lot more when it comes to my reactions and all. And I've also got a lot more overall that I can show off secretly when it comes to it then. But that'll come in time. First and foremost, I'm happy that you two are here, Rena, Crimson. I know that you two were touching things up absolutely in my Discord. I had to find my phone charger, okay? Because my phone's battery actually goes down so fast if I don't have it plugged in when I have it linked up to VTube Studio. So we are just doing what we can here. But yes, first and foremost, let me move over to my little just chatting screen here, because I've got a lot that I need to go over when it comes to it. So, Chartreuse Proxy started all the way back in 2020, of course, when it comes to it. And if I find my old live streams, I'm gonna see if I can't put it up, actually, on my date tabs and everything like that or so. Now, I have this one unlisted. It's not on the public anymore to see, but my very first live stream that I ever did was Fire Emblem, the Binding Blade. Roy's Game when it came to it back in the day or so. So on that side, you can see, okay, to be fair, I started, on the 28th, as you're seeing here, as by my very ramshackle, overlay when it comes to it. But this is the very first piece of content that I ever made back then. I got inspired by the big VTubing boom of Hollow with Niji Sanji back then, and I thought this was during the COVID era. As you can probably see by some of my recommended story, I still have a lot of, I still have a lot of VTuber clips in the side or so. This is how I really started myself over. It was just playing a game, I had it emulated throughout, and I just thought, I want to be able to play through video games, and if nobody's watching me, well, that's just how it goes. But if somebody does decide to watch me, then, well, that might be, then that could be a, a nice sight, and maybe I could make a friend or two. And hilariously, I did get people who I've never known before actually dropping into the stream. I clicked mini player. Uh-oh. Don't do that. Don't do that. There we go. So you see, I got people talking through, and it surprised me back then in the day. It really did to have people actually coming around and saying, yeah, or dropping by seeing new YouTubers. And I guess like on that side, YouTube discoverability is way better than Twitch on that. But also, YouTube Live really wasn't explored too much on that there. But this was the very first stream that I did, and I only ever did the one stream of Binding Blade, and, well, that's exactly how it cut through then. Then afterwards, I started going over to some of my other... I started doing older things. Kurt Serve Delicious was, of course, there, and a lot of other shorter games. You can see here, streamed 5 years ago when it comes to that side. And again, it was just no overlay cruising, Nothing special, and even then, there wasn't even any hairpins or anything like that to it for Chartreuse Proxy. It was small, succinct, everything like that, and there wasn't anything that really defined me besides just the booth model and, well, my color scheme when it came to it then. In fact, I'll show you off right now then. If I change my model, hey, look at this girl right here, don't you think? This was me in what I would consider my 1.0 incarnation and everything like that, quite frankly. This was the basis for how I started VTubing altogether, and quite frankly, there is a lot of work that started being built upon this or so. I already went over this in the 4.1 special program, but I like to yap, and as such, I will go on to showcase how everything used to look back then, quite frankly. Because if you want to see, for example, this here was my old overlay. If I shrink things down on my Twitch side of things when it comes to it then. Give me 1 second. I'm trying not to move the Twitch chat bots and everything like that or so. But look at this. Look at this old overlay that I had. I used to be on the left side because I thought, I know, I can make myself look different or so. And then I hated it from that point on. But this was me back then. I had a color palette that was befitting of me and my siblings as denoted by my hairpins. So yellow, green, and kind of like a snowish gray or so. Chatbots was huge. And then I also kept up with following the trend of having everybody with the new subscriber, new follower kind of tagged at the bottom there. I fell out of love on that pretty soon. I say pretty soon, halfway throughout my lifespan. But this was all homemade by me back then because I didn't want to pay somebody to make the paneling. I didn't want to pay somebody to make the paneling or to make overlays because I didn't have money. All I started with was $5 and my Zoom camera. And also a new, a new iPhone, which I used to run one of the earliest things of VTube Studio ever. So that really was a big galvanization of me wanting to continue to make everything as a product of my own, I guess is the best way to put it. Because it was these, it was the pictures too, so if I put up the images for my panels and all that. So where is my panel compilation? I have to dig through my files on this here. My work files, my special program stuff here. Yeah, here we go. Here are all of my old panels that I made. Back when I didn't even have a drawing tablet, and I just made them straight up on mouse and keyboard itself. Gods, this is old memory lane. I had my color routines and everything like that too, because you could still change my hair color and all. That was still functionality, but I kept it to this basis of this perfect little chartreuse hair, chartreuse yellow hair, and then green eyes. Fun fact too, I almost was actually going to have heterochromia iridium to have one yellow, one green eye for a chartreuse yellow, chartreuse green when it came to showcasing it off. But I decided against that because I thought that would already mess with people's perception of my design, considering how fan artists, when it came to or so, were already getting things wrong on it was more green. No, I'd say it's more yellow, but to be fair, chartreuse, if you type that in, you'll get either or color, and that kind of really tossed things out for how people understood to take me and understand me or so then. But yeah, I had, this was quite frankly a very old model of mine when it came to it. This is the 1.0 Chartreuse Proxy and all, so if I expand myself out here, as you can see, I have a nice full body rig of what you'd say is a nice prominent old kind of like magey outfit to an extent or so. Nothing too much more, and quite frankly, I feel like my chest has shrunk since then, but that's of my own volition. So, let us speed forwards to the next year then, in that case. Rather, I have a few things that I need to go over on this side. I did get a few other models and everything like this or so, outfits based off of it. So if you know the hit VTuber Serena Penguina, she made this little kind of skirt and cardigan all together or so. that I did for one of my first ever model redeems. Same head and all, but we were able to edit this together, and this was very cute. And I even had a idol outfit, which I also did commission Yamio Satura-san for. So if I search through this real quick, I should be able to find it. If I find my little idol fit here, because this was all my 1.0 era. And I know for a fact that I did not show up, well, you saw it in passing if you were there for the 4.1 stream, but if you weren't, then I'm loading up the idol outfit right now, so just give me a second, yo. But this was all old year one, 2020 to 2021-ish Chartreuse Proxy then. Because it is 4.1, but I've had lots and lots of small updates on the sides when it comes to it, and quite frankly, there has been a lot of love poured into everything on that there. If I start searching through my old videos too, I can probably actually find some of these. So let me hide the panels real quick. Let me go to Firefox. But there's a lot of people that I would say that I would still give a lot of love to. So you can see here, the first ever collab that I have was with Hirokawa Yuno and IRL Guppy back in the day. Oh my goodness gracious. Those are names that still go around. Yuno's gone from this earth. They retired a while back or so. But then Guppy's of course still around. And I used to actually do podcast streams and even like drawing streams too. Back before I even had my tablet. So that is hilarious, quite frankly. There's lots of names that, if you saw in the special mentions, do go way back. So you can really see Shadow before, they're now known as Vibrant Shadow now. Kaito Nasa back in the day. Lumichu. There's even Zian Su right there. So many old stuff. And even my first Switch stream back when Monster Hunter Rise came around. Oh my goodness gracious. There is so many memories that comes around to it. But I really started doing VODs. You can see here, or rather, earnestly trying to upload more VODs, because most of my podcast stuff, I remember just kind of like, oh, if I remember to do so, I'd upload it. But my VODs really started coming into fruition more in 2022 at 2.0 age, as you can already see with me just actually titling out dates and putting things more all together. And then we just kept going on to where, soon enough, I started getting my usual thumbnails, and that started building upon itself. But that's an aside. That's an aside when it comes to it. But now, I've got an idol outfit to show. Because I know I used to do some karaoke as well when it comes to it, hilariously. Oh, I see the problem on why it took so long. I uploaded all my idol outfits. Oops! Well, I'm choosing a random one that has random hair color and everything like that or so. Oh, hey, look! I'm a brunette now. Hello, y'all! This was my lovely little idol outfit that I had Yamio Satura-san made for me back in the day or so. With these lovely little frills and everything, from the dress up to, of course, nice exposed legs and everything like that or so. Gloves, my glove obsession, and then, well, yeah, you're seeing right here. This is kind of like with my color redeems where I got to show off all my different colors and everything like that I wanted to. So, of course, that was hair and eyes were the first ones that came to redeems. Now I can change up my whole outfit when it comes to it now. But back in the day, this was a huge thing that I could test, tune around, and really get around to people's liking or so. So if I tried like another color set, hey, look at that nice cotton candy look or so, y'all. Liking that? But this was all my 1.0 stuff when it came to be then. So much memories, so much history with it. And unfortunately, because this was a pay-to-use model or so, I can't monetize or use like this here, either the original, the casual, or the idol outfit for commercial use. But I did know what I was getting into at the time because I was already looking at redesigns when it came to it then. So that's understandable then, and well, that's just history. History in the making then. But let us zoom forwards to 2.0 in that case then. Because this was, once again, background number 1 when it came to it. Afterwards, I then updated to what is my cloudy portraits. So if I move my display over here then, and if I hide my little pixel sprite, this was 2.0. to where this was the earliest incarnation of 2.0, to where I then went with my cloudy look overall, because I then spawned in, of course, with, as soon as I pull up the model. Shoot, I need to pull up the red door colors on it. Well, give me just a second here, y'all. But yes, this was the start of what would be 2.0 Chartreuse Proxy soon enough in all of that regard when it comes to it then. Let me just delete these files real quick. Oh, I deleted the wrong ones. I deleted the wrong ones. It's okay, we move them over. Okay, we're good. I have all of my files in one space on my PC, and like, it takes up so much space, hilariously so. But that's all of the models that I've worked on in history, and I just can't bring myself to get rid of them. Isn't a real stream with some stuff? To be fair, I would have set this up more to be a lot more upkept together, but I did not have the time to do so, considering how I was getting to having Ein around. So yes, welcome to 2.0 Cruzy in this case then. This, of course, is the 2022 era. When it comes to it then, 21... it's like end of 21 to like beginning of 23 when it comes to it then. This was when I really showed myself out as a mage altogether then. So if I move my fit, this is all designed outfits when it comes to it then. I had my, lovely boots and a lot more of a greeny palette to showcase that I used to be an adventurer when it came to it then. Biggest thing too was, of course, showing off like how I have my hairpins actually inundated as more my oishi mark when it comes to it. My messy unkempt hair as befitting of how I was in real life at the time, and a huge aho day when it comes to it, as you see. But this was a huge step up for me because this was my own IP when it came to it. And I also, at the time, got, what's his face? That's when I actually got my logo actually installed altogether then. So it was like, first time ever that Chartreuse Proxy logo was real. I had that commissioned out from one Celestia Dwarf when it comes to it. And that was also the same for the GaleForce logo. This was old times when it comes to it. And as you see, this is exactly so when I really started putting in a lot more work on it, because you can see here, this was 2022 era, 23 onwards, and well, you're seeing here, especially when I did things like, look at this old tabletop sim when we played Red Dragon in 3 years ago, a huge bunch of friends playing it, and this was, yeah, August 2022 then. Gods, this is old, but you're seeing how it used to be. I'd swap out, so these three clouds at the bottom were my subscriber, donator, and most recent subscriber, donator, follower panels and everything like that or so when it came to it then. And exactly so, if I did collab streams, then I would remove them straight up. Try to keep it nice and simple on the overlay side of things. Did that necessarily help? Not always, but it did help clear things up, and that's a design principle I've tried to carry on more for the future now. And in addition, that also brought forth new panels at the same time too. Yeah, the burgers were a part of the Treat Serve Delicious culture that I had back then. I hope you're doing well too, Zoe. Welcome to the history lessons, as always. But you can see here, this is also when panels started coming around. Now, I didn't have my 2.0 panels. Now, this is 2021, so this is when I got the 3D models of my 1.0 model, and I only had 2D for my 2.0 for maybe like a good year or so. So this is what I had at the bottom to begin with, as you see, really leaning into the little like lick of both. This was a play on both my Eho Day that I had here, as you can kind of see it's almost like the opposite side of it, and like if you flipped it around, mirrored it, and also of course, my sparkles, my little oishi mark. But it wasn't long until I actually did then get my 3.0, in which case, you see here, I did update the panels, and of course the overlay got to go with it then. Because after I got this here, it then became a matter of me thinking to myself, I really need to be able to showcase more of a Meiji palette. So I leaned into that, and I went with a solid green to befit more of how you could well define I just tried how you could well define what my moniker is, since I kept promoting myself as a mage, and I really didn't do much with it. So, windy follower, kind of like you can see, like, almost watery waves and subscriber, and some fire in the donator. But this is, I think, the last time that I did any of those marks, because at the time, with me being a smaller VTuber, it did not necessarily feel good on both the ego, and also just feeling good to see it in general, on having somebody like my last follower or my last subscriber or donator especially being like, oh, this was 8 months ago and whatever. It wasn't good for what I felt was a permanent fixture of the stream, and that's when I did start doing away with them. But this is when I got my 3D model, not just for me, but for my siblings too, Gran and Centurio, who don't really feature on streams that much, but they are lovely supports, and that's why I feature them in my panels and in my sparkles so much, because I wouldn't be the same mage as I was without them at the time. And well, that's just something that I hold near and dear to my heart when it comes to it then. Now, we've got a lot more to look at, because of course, this was 2.0 at the time, and this is when I started doing more wild and weird outfits and everything like that, or so, going from jokes and all. So, let us look at some of them. I was already well past 2.0 at the time, but I did, because it was a good sale by Chisetto, I did have this small little model of what is canonically like 2 inches tall when it comes to it, of a stuffed chibi. Chisetto, the artist, a friend of Akane's and I's, was running a sale at the time to where they were selling these stuffed models for I think like 45 bucks. I was like, I'll take it. That's really cute. There's no reason for me not to. I love it. It's so adorable. Oh my goodness gracious. And on that side, I just took it. Not too much functionality, but I know it has a few toggles to where I can like pry a little bit if I recall. Let me find these hotkeys. There we go. Cry a little bit. Some glasses that I asked to put on like my gunners or so, or just a few smaller expressions and everything like that or so. Very cute, very stuffed, but once again, that's why I bought into the model at the time. It was that, or what is one of the peak models I've ever bought. Look at the Nezoberry. You are not immune to Nezoberry propaganda. This, exactly so, is a Nezoberry, which if you are inundated at all with like Love Live culture or anything like that or so, this is absolute peak performance in what you're looking at. And it is 2.0 exactly. Look at how much fluff there is. It does lay flat and everything like that or so. And there is redeems to put the Nezo on the head. So if you want to put a Nezoberry on my model as I stream, that is absolutely doable to do. But this is a wonderful little artifact out of, once again, Melonbread69, who did this model, if I remember correctly when it comes to it. I am losing my own sauce when it comes to each of my models here, and I should just probably pull up the overlay because I can't remember it off the top of my head. It was yeah, Melonbread69, which they did deactivate their old Twitter account when I was searching through them again. So, but they do have a VGen page, which I did link over, I believe, in the description. So hopefully, you know, they're still getting good work or so. But I remember they offered these Nezos, and then they stopped doing stuff on like social media for a good bit. So I hope that they're doing well, but this is something that I do hold near and dear to my heart when it comes to it. And then, well, you're seeing it upcoming then. Now, the slime model was part of 3.0 fun celebrations when it comes to it, and there is a lot of fun toggles with that as well. But here's the problem. I would have to dig through and find where it is, because I do not remember where I have it in my folders here. So I might just have to show that off at another time. I'll be honest with you. But the slime model was very bouncy, and I can probably find like a video of me with it. Accessories. If I would get pre-debut, okay, no. I would have to dig through and find the slime model again. So, instead, I'm going to see if I have it in like my Discord at all. And I'm just gonna pull up the Discord instead. Where is the slime? Where is Slime Cruzy? There is nothing in my Discord that talks about Slime Cruzy. No! Oh, actually, hold on. May have found something. No, I'm not finding Slime Cruzy. Ah! Wait. No, I found like one picture of me in the Discord, so quite frankly, I might just have to use this one here. Okay, yeah, I might just have to use the one picture in Discord that I find. Alright, you're not gonna get too much out of me then, Chief, but if I pull up Discord for my game capture. Or window capture. Kaput. That is going on the Discord right now. I am posting that out. And that is blessed images. Goodness gracious. It was brought up in a good little bit ago, and I guess I might need to have to change around on how the model works and all. But yeah, Slime Cruzy was a real thing back in the day, and it was a redeem. I'm still pretty sure it is a redeem that actually can put out in my kind of like scuffed category when it comes to it then. So, or like my old, yeah, no, Slime Time is a redeem, but I guess I need to fix that out then. But this was my 3.0 era then. And if I change my overlays one more time then, we would then get to look out to what is the start of the Maid of GaleForce at the time then. So if I find it around, welcome to what was first ever Maid of GaleForce side, alongside what would be the paneling to go with it, which is what you all know as modern day Cruzy overall then. So one more model change in that case. This is modern day Cruzy as you know it. So you can see here, modern stuff. I have all of my little reaction self with my with my 4.0 self altogether. I just said 3.0 was, I consider 1.0 was old outfit, 2.0 was adventure, 3.0 is Maid, but I consider everything 4.0 onwards would be after I got my 3D model for this Maid outfit or so. So this is one part of it when it comes to it then. And of course, I need to give props out to the artist all along the way. Because, not including it of course, the early models came out to be Yamir Satrasan who did the 1.0, and then I just Fiverr'd Artisty Uru on Fiverr, exactly so, for the 3D model of my 2.0, who is the same person who did Flanny's side when it comes to it. But afterwards, I then sought out bigger name creators when it came to, and the start of VGen was a very good start when it came for me getting somebody, for me getting a bigger artist on that side, because that's when I found Unagi Adi for my 3D then. But also on the 3D side, I failed to neglect that I did the seasonal stuff, which you do see here in the sense of my initial Maid outfit ever, and then my Cruzmates Proxy. These ones were just made off of assets on Vtuber Studio. So at the time then, I just made do with what I could, and I just really just, exactly so, embellished it straight into VR chat right afterwards. But 2024, for the Maid model and all here as you can see, it was a 3-person process of PR, my favorite artist of all time once again of course, being the one who created the actual reference sheet and everything like this or so, for both 2.0 and what is 3.0 onwards now. Yamir Satrasan took a backseat, but I did ask her to, if she could make the layering out of PR's model and all. That way I would be able to utilize it for Zoe's case, because Zoe knew that I was a VTuber at the time, or rather, like, the better way to put it is that I was an e-girl, I guess, is the way that I always call myself to my IRL friend group or so. But I was telling her about what the different processes, and to keep it short, that was all bad. That was the very start of her wanting to learn rigging, and I requested, very selfishly if I might ask, if I could take her time and basically like half a year to do rigging for that and all. And well, the product that you see here today is the fruits of her labor. But this isn't just the 2024 rating. I'm going to show off everything else with this 2025 one, because there's so much more I'm already doing that I'm not mentioning. And oh my goodness gracious, you do not know how happy I am when it comes to this here. But there's a lot of history when it comes to, because I think the biggest person, once again, who gave me the biggest start was Yamio Satura-san. As you've seen, she's been with me throughout all of my incarnations, and also Maid. She's always been a Maid too. That is absolute queen stuff when it comes to it. But moving onwards when it comes to it then, there is still a lot more people that have helped out on those sides. Because once again, going back to the PR side of things, she's the one who made the very first reference sheet of my 2.0, because she made the main key design as, or rather, Yamio Satura-san made the main key design, but then PR put it to a reference sheet, which is where I really continued to make things get going. And then same thing onwards for the reference sheet for the Maid model now, on how PR was, of course, the lead key artist when it came to it then. And then it all just came down to Yamio Satura-san parsing everything out and putting everything in its place then, when it came to it. Then, of course, Zoe came on and finished things out, but there's lots of things that happened on the interim then, to said. Because not only did my panels evolve, but my logos too. Because back then, this was the homemade logo that I made back in the day, which is made off free assets and like a nice Arial bold font when it came to it. This didn't last too long, or rather, this lasted for like a year or two before Flaney basically said, hey, you're getting a professional logo at the time, to where Celestial Dwarf was contacted out and made this lovely logo, which I use to this day. And same thing even with the old group of GaleForce back then. A free asset made in 2.0, and GaleForce, so let me bat things up here, because this is always a piece of lore that drops around, yet never gets explained in my Discord. GaleForce was the joke of me and Kaito NASA, one of my oldest friends since 2021 of VTubing, and we are both big esports heads. We love watching League of Legends or League of Legends, some Apex, everything like that. Like, we watch a lot of esports together when it comes to it, and we made the joke of, hey, once we're famous and popular, maybe we should try to get sponsored by a team or so. Well, we thought we might as well sponsor ourselves and started. And so the Fire Emblem fan in me decided to make GaleForce when it comes to it then, as a joke on the skills, of course, when it comes to it, of GaleForce in-game, which is if you kill a unit, then you get to move again. And I thought that with the people that we recruit around, if one of us ends our streams, then hopefully you'll be able to jump from one member of GaleForce to another members of GaleForce stream. And, you know, keep that work going on then. So back then, teasers were made of the first 5 founding members of GaleForce back then. Kaito, as you see in his old design, Flanny, me in my 2.0, and then Shadow and Airy. Now to be fair, if I want to really talk about things that have aged badly, GaleForce absolutely is there, because it's not the level of free shoujo now, but it's really just people, you know, like, we are all across the world when it came to for our nationalities, and also views, and there's, like, to keep it short, political stuff did drive things around to where it's like, yeah, you can know people as friends from gaming, but you don't know how they are, and that's simply how it broke. So the group is sadly basically defunct when it comes to it, and it's really just kind of like a few friends saying like hi or sharing art when it comes to it, but it is a shining memory for me of what I would say is my first ever established friend group, and what set a precedence for how I want to build a community, because GaleForce absolutely sadly does suffer from first child syndrome of, alright, made friends in a big ass community, or rather like just brought in people from every community outwards, and well, it kind of blew up in our face on that end, because I didn't really necessarily vet people, and I just wanted to vibe, and that's just how it went. But that's enough group politics. Fact is, at least from 90% of the people that have entered the server or so, I've had good experiences with, and they've at the very least said that they've been good when it comes to as well. But there is still, like, once again, that's why I like to have these history streams, because as much as that was flailing around when it comes to it, one, I'm not embezzling money. I'm too poor to do that. I'm too poor in both knowledge, nor would anybody give money to me on that side when it comes to it then. And two, like, this is, once again, my history. I would not be the VTuber that I am today without having these experiences and all. Yeah, it's growing pains when it comes to it then, Zoe. And you and I understand especially so, since you used to be a part of it and left it for, you know, once again, there's a lot of things that people do not see eye to eye to, and that's just how the wind breaks. But there were a good amount of memories that did come to it, because there are a lot of friends that I had made fan art of it all. I think some of the best ones, of course, when it comes to it, would be PR making the GaleForce posters back from the first group incarnation, movie poster a la endgame style of the first grouping and all. Once again, hey, spy how many people are actually in graduation or that I get to talk to about on a daily basis when it comes to it then. Ah, yikes. But anyway then, this was because my birthday is on July 24th, but GaleForce was founded 1 year in 2021, so around 1 year anniversary or so, on June 19 then, and that's always been designated as that birthday then. And also, if you take a close look at that too, hey, who's that lovely lady that made this artwork too? Do you spy that logo in the top? That's PR again! It's PR! I can't stop commissioning her. This is actually a problem. But not only did BR make this early incarnation of GaleForce when it was 8 members strong when it came to it, but she made 2 posters actually. From both back then and more modern day when it comes to it, of basically everybody's updated designs at the time or so, plus the newer members that we had gotten over the years, because it started with, once again, 5 people, then we got a few others around, like me, Flanny, Kaito, Airy, Shadow, then we got a few more that came around. It was Fairly who rebranded to Echo in that time or so. Shadow became Vibrant Shadow, of course. We brought on Kaylee, Annie, and Kiza, and then alongside Z and Sue, so that's Z and Cheryl at the bottom when it comes to it, and Ein as well too, as you can kind of see. This was before we had a few other people around, but also others did drop in and out at the time. But the biggest things that I'd have to say about it is that it did really teach me more about how, yes, I can have friends online, but there's a lot more dynamics when it comes to it, or rather, like, I can't please everybody, have everybody in the same group, and it's growing pains and overall. But it brought upon beautiful pieces of art like this, or one of my favorites is the old GaleForce Christmas picture. Done by Anahi, the god of fortune. This is one of my favorite pieces of art that I've ever had made, just due to how, 1, it's a group collage, 2, you get to see basically everybody in what is a very nice session. Now granted, this piece was made and then everything blew up, and GaleForce basically is just kind of a dead server, as it always has been now, so Sag, on one end, press F to pay respects, but 2, this was a really high point, because Christmas has always been very nice, because back then we used to do Secret Santas between all the members when it came to it, both community and official members, I say in parentheses, when really, it's just a group in name. It's not that we're being sponsored or put around. I just, like, the logo is funny for branding purposes and also for monitors, but nothing too much more than that. But just, my heart it's both like forged in joy and cracks knowing like how it used to be back then. But then again, that was COVID era when everybody was only online, and therefore I feel like I was a lot closer to the people in general then. And now things have of course changed around. Lives are already there, but fact is, everybody who has been, still is, or has left GaleForce when it comes to it then, they're mostly doing well or finding their ways in their lives, and I can't be happier for all of them. Considering how this brainchild was between Kaito and I. Kaito's doing wonderfully on his side of sim racing when it comes to it. I'm, of course, here. And Flanny, as our manager, you know, still gets to interact and keep up with the members who have left in a healthy way. And I can't get over that any more than that overall. I'm just happy that that's just how, you know, the cookie has happily crumbled in a good way on, despite, once again, the misgivings and how things have changed around when it comes to it. We've come away a lot more we've come away in a healthy way to take this now. But of course, this takes us now to what is modern day Chartreuse Proxy, everybody, complete with the newest round of panels, as we're kind of seeing here. Well, I say seen here. You can look down in the bottom right, of course, and you'll see what I'm talking about then, because we have these panels all nice and updated around. I don't need to pull this up on stream when it comes to it, but there is a lot, but there's a lot of love showcasing both my motif on how being the maid of GaleForce and branding wise, I really want to show that off with all my love, and also get to really showcase how much work that I put into this stuff here. Because oh my goodness gracious, that special program announcement was 2 months to make out of my life. Now granted, this was not the biggest editing project that I've ever had to do. Those go out to Ein's birthday in Valhalla, and also preparing for like my debuts when it comes to it then. So I can also include like my initial debut trailer that I had made for my Maid model, which was 2 years ago. Because it was December, because I released it on New Year's basically, streamed that and debuted that on New Year's. And also, well, there's a lot of effort that's been gone into some of my shorter form videos when it comes to it then. But I am happy to have this as my newest age when it comes to it then. Because not only do I get to really showcase the, like, one, my hilarity when it comes to it then for the lengths that I'll go. Because, like, first and foremost, for those of you that may not be in the know when it comes to it, the special program announcement is a parody. This is a parody that I did of the special program announcement of what the Hoyoverse games do. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say Hoyoverse, that is Honkai Impact the Third, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and everything like that, because they announced those as part of what is a special program announcement. To where it is basically, yeah, a little preview stream that comes around, showcases what's going to be going on in the new edition, or the new volume, the new update of the game or so, and has the little chibi models of the, what's his face? Of the characters talking like with the voice actors, showcasing what's new and everything like that or so. And well,
and
yeah,
modules,
exactly
but
so.
Also other hidden functions, which I think is pretty sick. Like, for example, after reading through 11 pages, beat her when she can fire so many bullets at once, and we can only go one at a time.
Yeah, like I made this as a joke. I made the whole special program as a joke to parody once again these announcements, because Genshin does this. If I look up Honkai Star Rail, they do this now, and I guess Genshin was the one that started it overall then when it comes to it. But it is still Hoyoverse Games overall that does these here, and showcasing new additions to the game, having character chibis talk and everything like that or so, and that's how I built it overall. I mean, I already titled it exactly so. Honkai Star Rail version 3.4 for the sun is set to die. Ooh, cool, magnanimous. Chartreuse Proxy 4.1, half decade of hearts ablaze. Yeah. 5-year anniversary edition or so, and yeah, you're seeing exactly, because, especially so I played Genshin back in the day, Flanny does too, and also PR as well, actually, when it comes to it. I felt that was one of the perfect ways to connect all three of us together in the project, and Ein too. Well, no, Ein doesn't play Genshin, but I included him, of course, as our third co-host, and exactly so, just keep that as a full parody, going from additional things, of course, such as me having the gacha banners, to also, hey, y'all, for you here, this right, like, for all you gacha game players, of course, you want to get free rewards, coupons, and everything like that or so, and this intermission stream is another, I think one of my favorite jokes that I did, because on these types of streams or so, they usually have like 1 to 3 intermission periods, as you can see here, of redemption codes to give out in-game rewards, be it money or, of course, premium currency and everything like that or so. And when Ein in the special program was going on about how this, this is, first and foremost, as you saw right there, this is limited edition, this is limited only until the end of tonight, the 24th, so if you're watching the stream right now, you can redeem this code by DMing me or typing it in the Discord, because, yes, I do unironically plan on having a yapping stream, and you can choose what I talk about when it comes to it. I'm going to commit to the bid, and nobody has DM'd me about it yet. Guys, if you are a gacha game player in any retrospect at all or so, this is free real estate, and nobody's messaged me about this or so. What are you doing? That's 100 free Stardust that you're getting and 10 free brooches. You kidding me? This is premium materials and nobody's messaged this at all? Man, you guys suck. And we have the first one for tonight then. Alrighty, I'm finally getting people getting on in. How did nobody message me about this earlier? I feel like this is a slam dunk of a joke. I mean, to be fair, not everybody plays Goyoverse games when it came to it then. But, like, I thought somebody would take the bait. Like, okay, yeah, once again. Out of, like, the people who still play Genshin in my group and all, there isn't too many. Same with Honkai Star Rail. But I thought that, you know, cultural osmosis would bring it to the point where people would actually, like, you know, jump on it. Oh, jeez. Well, I'll do a little raffle at the end of this here, and I'll see how things go. You're getting gas? This isn't gaslighting! This is just me making a cultural inference based on how popular the IPs are! Ah, goodness gracious. Anyway then. But yeah, it was made to parody everything like that or so, like, you saw, not only did I record myself in VR chat, lovingly, to have, to parody, like, you know, like, the cool, like, 2D graphics that they have on the Redemption Code screens. But I literally just, like, almost, like, copy-pasted word for word, like, redemptions are limited, so act fast. Redemptions are limited, so act fast. Only one redemption code allowed per account and everything like that. so that was exactly so. And I did keep that going there. But other things that I did joke on is, like, yeah, voice-over intro, like, before the program starts or so. I planned on maybe doing a trailer in VR when it came to it overall, to try to, you know, mimic, like, a character trailer and all. And I considered doing that on the Gacha banner too, but I ran out of time because I had to take care of Ayn, who was vacationing in town for the weekend. Because, one, this would be the first time I get to meet Ayn IRL, so when it came to it, I really just had to devote my time to taking care of him. So instead, I just had the little voice-over intro when it came to it. And I think I outdid myself with the freaking intro joke, because first and foremost, whenever they introduce the host or so, of course they introduce themselves as both the actual voice actor and the character that they play. And I went a step further on it, of, like, you know, alright, it's me, it's Chartreuse Proxy, your Wonderful Wind Mage. Hello, Mario. Cruiser, my screen name, of course, so, de la Cruz, yay. I came over to Ian Folsom himself, and Franny is just Franny. There's no voice actor behind it. She's always just been Franny. She's been here the whole time. I laughed incontrollably when I first thought of the joke when it came to, and then now, well, I absolutely understood the assignment and jumped on it. So I'm pretty happy with that joke overall. And that's just something that stuck with me. But yeah, there's just been, like, that was something that I loved. And then as you see here, yeah, they have, like, the little sitting streams where they have and then talk about the updates or, you know, the gameplay changes and everything that comes around to, of course, from the lovely little chibis. And, well, I had that alongside a little stream topic marker for everything that I went over throughout all of these years or so, which I still love. Also, I failed to mention that during the when I was in my 3.0 stuff, I snapped Unagi Agi before they really blew up in popularity, and I'm so glad that I did so, because one, the 3D model is super high quality, and two, goddamn, she's literally booked for like an entire year. Like, you don't know it, right? I keep looking at her stuff, and I'm like, I wonder if I want to see if I can get Ayn to have his model or something. Nope, she's booked for a year, dude. Like, unironic. She really has her schedule posted out on her, like, Trello page, and my goodness gracious. Holy crap. But with that, let's see here. The gacha stuff I did want to once again make the trailers for, but it never came around to it. And there was a lot, like, I wish I could have made the trailers for that, but I ran out of time when it came to, just on the basis of I had to take care of Ayn and all. And also, going back to the little joke that I had of, yeah, talking about, yeah, if you just give me a month or two, going back to that picture again, on how everything took all of this time here. You want to see the editing timeline that I had to put up with, that I made here? It's not as bad as Valhalla's editing timeline, of course, here, but this is a monster of a piece here. Look at all those clips. Granted, I was working with GIFs, so I had to really do a lot of small clips or so, but oh, goodness gracious. Thank you, Shotcut, for not slowing down too much. But, oh, that was a lot of graphics and everything I had to prepare, and I'm already working on it. It's already taking, like, maybe, like, a gig or two of all the save files I have in Krita and everything like that or so. Oh, my goodness gracious. Props have to go out once again to PR when it comes to for absolutely being the biggest queen of hearing me out on the special program announcement when it comes to it then, and delivering in spades for showcasing everything, for doing all the model stuff that I wanted. And these little chibis will be the most wonderful team that I'll get to show off for the future then, for whenever I don't, or for I'm going to be in VR chat, for instance. And, well, more PR love, more PR content on my side. But if I keep going through, so that's all of my history when it comes to it then, and if I find that one history image and I parse it out again, there is a lot of love that I've had poured out throughout these 5 years, and once in my growth, I'm still very happy about. Because if I zoom ahead on that once again, I never thought that I'd actually be close to 1K on YouTube. I wish I had more on Twitch, but that's just how the wind breaks, you know? Not a lot of people are going to be able to watch all my Twitch streams, considering how this is a degenerate time at 8 p.m. at night already on its own. But, and to be fair, my recorded content does way better on YouTube, both for residuals and also effort put into it, and how you can always find the VODs there. People were used to finding VODs on YouTube because Twitch VODs are, unfortunately, a good bit obtuse and don't work the best necessarily when it comes to it. But, my goodness gracious, my growth on YouTube has been a lot more than I ever expected it to be. Because one, I never expected to be popular to an extent of having people who found me and stood my content. And two, at the same time as well, there's also, like, a lot of people who I guess would consider not just, like, stans, but the SIMP squirrels in my pants word that you can't say on Twitch, otherwise you would get taken down or so, that did find me organically and have really stood by my content and really enjoyed me as a personality. Because if you really want to start on that side, then Flanny was one of the first bads that I ever got. She found me back in my 1.0 days, hilariously, when I played Epic Battle Fantasy, and well, she's been one of my most stalwart supporters ever since then. And if I want to expose her a little bit, I could absolutely showcase the amount of fan art that I've gotten with her, because there is a lot, baby girl, there is a lot of fan art that we've gotten throughout the years. I say expose, but like, there's so much just PR art that we've just commissioned back and forth for each other when it comes to it then. We've had so much love thrown around that we've just tossed back and forth to each other. Because it was back like from when like Skeb first started off back then, and people were just like mashing them out, buying them up so much back then. Guys, look at that. Look at our 1.0 stuff back then. That's so cute. Oh my goodness. A 1.0 models back then together, to then us trading off things like Rizzutelli with the person who got us together then, Ferna, back in the day. Oh, what loveliness. Just look at all of us in the 1.0s back then. To then me starting to commission PR for the lovely words, so our anniversary image of, look at that lovely little height difference that we had back then. Gods. I remember making a whole anniversary slideshow of Wendy and I for our 3rd year, but it's had a lot of personal stuff. I had personal old artwork too, that really was old school back then. Us here with Smitheroony, one of our earliest friends back then, I remember back in the day. And then of course, more date photos and whatever. So like for example, us at an aquarium, because this has always been Friday's dream date to go with me, and in her own words, she'd like to read all the plots ahead of me at the aquarium. That way she can showcase her knowledge, and that way she's super smart. And look at that, guess who it is? That is PR right there, of course, again. God, we love PR so much. And then I think one of my favorites is my 3-year anniversary that I did with Flanny, because I commissioned Anahi, the Goddess of Fortune, who did like all of my visual novel sprites, to do what I considered I love across the years. Because even with us being long distance, we absolutely still love and enjoy ourselves so much. And because Flanny's always been the same elf throughout the years. Of course, elves long lifespan. I'm just a normal human, but I thought it was one of the sweetest things that I could do for her if I could get a little bit of a collage of drawings, 1, 2, 3 all together like this or so, where it's all of us throughout all the incarnations, just dancing, whiling the nights away. And I think this is one of my favorite commission pieces I've ever gotten. Because if I could put all 3 of these side by side, and by that I mean I'm going to pull up Vtuber and put them side by side, you get to see how it's always been us at the end of days together. And I could not be happier with how it turned out. And it's really just a testament to, once again, if not for me VTubing at all to begin with, I would not be in the situation, in the happy situation that I am now. I would not have all the friends, all the loved ones that I've made throughout the years, quite frankly. And it's just weird to say that this has absolutely changed my life, considering how it's, I'm 25 this year. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a secret when it comes to it, but just what's a better way to put it? It's sobering to think that for a fifth of my life, I've been an online personality. And not just an online personality necessarily, but I've been an inspiration to people, which I said it thinking nicely if in a pipe dream, I would be able to be an inspiration to people, but I have genuinely changed so many lives without even realizing it back in the day. And well, just with how things are, I am just, once again, I am so blessed that I could be a lovely impact on people and really get to showcase that overall in everything that I do, from me showing my appreciation through all of my all the stream love that I'm gushing about right now, because I'm going to keep gushing about people. If you feel like you haven't been gushed about yet, oh, best be prepared to be embarrassed now in just a second, people. Okay, let me pull this up. Let us go to Vtuber, please. Look at all 3 of these together. Oh my goodness gracious. I love this collage so much, because really, me having 3 designs in my life, it's been an evolution of absolutely how I feel like I've treated myself. On my 1.0, I told myself the Maids of Mishaps mastering their magic, because it's your Maids of Mishaps mastering their magic one day at a time, Chartreuse Proxy. Because there was so much stream stuff. It was my first time I ever did recorded content, either recorded or live, and I just treated it as kind of hobbyism when it came to it. Then I started reading more into things. Now granted, do I ever hold the kayfabe on my character? No, because as much as I could love to keep this voice, I don't feel like putting the energy in. Streaming's already my relaxing time when it comes to it then. But yes, Jenna, you see it. It goes from morning to afternoon to almost kind of evening sun setting already at the time throughout. And it's just a lovely dance progression, because you see how Flanny leads on through in each of the pieces. And I'm just taking stride and step, and I have not grown a single inch throughout all of those years and generations. But truly, she has been my rock by my side when it comes to it, and I just love her so much, and I can't thank her enough when it comes to it. Hilariously, once again, one of the biggest allures to me back then was from the Epic Battle Fantasy series, which is a childhood series of mine that I played, made by Matt Rosette, and by this lovely composer here, this Angel Ferna, who was one of the first people I ever actually did collabs with back in the day or so. I played Hunt Showdown with them, and that's how Flanny found me. It even inspired what I would consider to be the coolest moniker of mine back then, the Wind to Thy Wings. Because if I'm the maids at beck and call, Ferna is the angel really descending from above, and I am the one giving strength and love and power to. The wind to thy wings. Wind, bottom, wings, up top, of course, exactly, so is what I'm referring to. This was made by that guy Boopy, who's done wonderful art in the past or so, and I'd love to commission more when it comes to it. And this was once again, you can see a 1.0 model back in the day, but if this is still, of course, also one of my favorite pieces too that I've got to say, but just how it looks overall. And well, it started off Franny and I's real relationship together when it came to it, for really pushing, for really both giving each other's gifts back and forth and showcasing all the love that we can in both artwork and how connected we are from all our friend groups. Because I know Ferna did retire from VTubing then, and then was reborn now as ZNSU as a secret not kept anymore when it came to it. Then there is lots and lots and lots of love that is poured through. So I'm saying, Flanny. This here was from Lapis, who got this as a GaleForce Christmas gift of mine, actually, then. To where this is like a in-war meeting of me first meeting Flanny, praying at her cathedral back then. And I love this so much. Just look at us. Oh my goodness, we're so cute together. We're so cute. Oh, I'm in love again. I'm in love. There's so much art that I could keep posting and posting, but Ferna was a integral part of how I first grew up when it came to it then. Flanny got to come along from Ferna on that side, and there's been, and we've made so many memories together on that side again. On that note, when it comes to it, Flanny's also made a lot of the designs. She was a big key artist in my 2.0 and my 3.0 to 4.0 onwards. And I already talked about it before, but I have to gush about the art mamas. The art mamas deserve the gush. This piece here was once again made by Anahi, and it features all three of the key artists, of course, when it comes to it then. So PR, that is Yamio Satura-san, and Zoe, when it comes to it. And of course then, I really talked about how PR was concept artist, Yamio Satura-san was rigging, and then Zoe was wiring. But you're here, Zoe, so prepare. This is your gush session when it comes to it, and also me showing off my rigging and all. What have you done to me? Like, positively. The bounce is so nice in the physics and everything like that or so. The smoothness of how everything looks. Look at the arms, they flail, they move so much or so. Look at, the boat goes all the way around, and the apron shifts too. The hair is, once again, wonderful. Just shake it off actually when it comes to it. And you included smaller details in my updated trading or so that I never really got to mention out. Just that little a-hode bit to go with the fact that you've updated my eyebrows so much so that they are more responsive and move more natural at your human face. I cannot thank you more than enough for that as well. And of course, facial updates overall, because with me reacting on video games and all, just my shrinking eyes are so good, but also the smoothness on how everything looks. So we talked about, there's a lot of patch notes which I should have shown off, but I lost the time to edit, because when I went on about talking about the patch notes, both the jokes and the fates, there's a lot of stuff that I would have loved to show off a lot more, but I didn't get a chance to necessarily do so, and I wish I had that on stream, but once again, ran out of editing time, because there's stuff I need to do with Iron or so. And also, I need to beat allegations here, people. I asked for something that a lot of people always drew issue with on my rigging side or so. They always, whenever people have showcases or anything like this or so, for V2 models or so, there's one thing that you always showcase when it comes to it. It's like, oh yeah, the physics, little waiver and everything like that or so. You're like, how good does your model move around, all physics and everything? Because this is a full body, not a half body, not like a headshot basically when it comes to it or so. I move so flowingly now that it's actually insane how much work has been put into it. Zoe's done so much in making each individual hair strand look so good too, dude. It's so beautiful. And you wanna know one thing that a lot of people questioned when I had my 3.0 model back 2 years ago? Where's physics? Where's physics? I asked for no physics, because that's not my content. I asked for not too much back then, because, quite frankly, I didn't want that to be the key. If I was gonna have something, it'd be like head up, bust up, and that would be where it'd be. Well, I'm showcasing more of it now. I'm gonna be bust up from now on, so you can see more of the model in any of my videos, and quite frankly, I asked for balance. You're welcome here, people. You're welcome. You're getting a little bit of that. I can showcase a little bit more, but I feel like I'm gonna get run through for being like, oh, Cruzy, how crude of you. I can turn it off, too! It's gone now! I'm back to my normal self, so quite frankly, the allegations are beat, I have cake, I have bounce. You're not gonna hear the end of it from me now. I'm too powerful for your sake. imagine the revenue you could get from visits. Well, if I wanted to get more revenue on that side, then I'll just change my 3D model in VR chat to have a swimsuit, and then I'd bounce around when it comes to it then. Okay, but a jittery boob tile was the funniest thing I've been asked so far. Look! To quote myself when it comes to it, yeah, like, we're in a voice call when we're going over the stuff here, and to quote myself, you know, can you just give me like water balloons unironically? I need to put that in quote notes. Hold on. I should put that in. I should put that in quotes. So let me clip that out first and foremost. Okay. Oh goodness gracious here. I'm beating the allegations. There's so many people who say, how are you not getting when it comes to it then? But goodness gracious. Fact is, once again, there's a lot of love that I could pour in because there's lots of smaller things that I really love about your updated ratings though. Like, once again, like, yeah, the fact that like you paid attention to how on my bangs my hairpins are all on different strands of hair when it comes to it is actually such a small detail that's always been in my ref sheets. Yeah, it's overlooked, and it's not like it's the biggest deal. Rather, I can count so many times when people forget the hairpins entirely when it's my entire gosh darn marketing and my Oishi art. And it pisses me off on how it keeps happening. I'm not pissing the people, it's like, that's understandable, it's just really 3 stars, but like, how does it keep happening? So the fact that you got to pay special attention to that so much is so sweet as well. Or like, I turn my head so much when it comes to it that my bangs just, you know, tussling, moving a little bit more is so cool. Or you said it too already on your own end, like with your updated models of things like the little shadow that I get from like leaning my head down, or like how you can see my net shading is going more when it comes to that then. That is such small details that I would never get to appreciate unless I've been with you on your entire way of rigging, and seeing how much love that you've gotten to pour into it from that, from Taito, from, you know, all of your other projects you've gotten to share with me all on your time, both in-house and our friends or out. It's so much love. Like, once again, the skirt is a marvel. The fact that, like, you know, like, even with the fact that it bounces around so much more, especially the apron with how much it slides, and yet the celestial design is still moving, is still sparkling and everything there, like, that's, I'm in love so much. I'm in so much love. It is ridiculous how in love I am. Like, it's the fact that I get to use this model every day from now on, you don't know how much mileage I'm going to get out of this, and how just how happy I am. Because with this being my other half of my this is half of my life. First half is my IRL obligations, my job, my work, well, my jobs, my family stuff and everything like that. And then my other half, of course, goes out to my cosplay side, my gaming side, and then streaming as a part of it or so. The fact that I get to feel what I feel is performing my very best every day, thanks to all these updates or so, and getting to really celebrate what is quite literally a fifth of my life in such a nice and exuberant way, and seeing myself physically grow, that's the worst way to put it, I'm still 5'2", but grow in love and appreciation for the people who brought me here, and also grow in, like, the numbers on, once again, the side of people interacting with my content, quite frankly, or my YouTube, or, well, I guess YouTube is part, like, point still stands when it comes to it then. There's so much that I am so happy for, and I think the biggest thing that I want to bring the biggest attention is the special thanks to, because there's a lot of people that I didn't get to go over with in the special programs, otherwise it would take 30 minutes. So instead, I'm going to take 30 minutes to go over all of these lovely figures. But first and foremost, I'm getting water, so give me 2 seconds on this. Because if you weren't ready for a gush session, oh, you weren't ready yet. Alright, beverage obtained. Who's ready for gushing?